Hello everyone, welcome back. So in this video we're going to see how to find broken links through Selenium, or the links you have in your page, are those working? Okay, that's what we're going to see. So example, if we go to our Selenium code and box automation lab.com, you can see this is our landing page. It has a lots of link, like here is the link, here is a link, all the blocks we write, so there is a link attached with this, and you will find the link over here, sign up link. If there is a lots of link you will find in this page. Okay, there is a footer, there is a lots of link. So how can you ensure all the links are working, or is there any links is broken? How can you ensure? If you want to do it manually, we have to click on each and every link, and then we have to see that is that landing on the right page or not. So it's a very tedious works. It's a very uh, time consuming work. So this is not a smart way to do. We can do these things very smartly through Selenium. We can check all the links, how many links we have, how many links we have broken, how many links is valid or not broken. We can find those things through Selenium. In this course we're going to see how it's we can do it. Okay, let's go to and before we start our coding, one basic things I want to explain you. It's here you can example, this is our client, okay. Assume that this is our client machine. So this machine, this is a browser, and this is our code and box automation lab.com. Okay, and then when you open this browser, okay, there is a request sent through HTTP protocol. HTTP protocol. There is a request sent through the HTTP protocol to where? To server. It's up here, right? To server, like the code and box server. And from that server, there's a response come back. You can see response come back with a response code. If the request is legitimate request and server have the data for this or there's a response for this request, the response will come back with a 200 status code. There is a response come back with a 200 status code, or it's called okay. If this request is invalid request, like the link is broken, or requesting an invalid data, that time the response will come with some response code, whether it's a 400 or 500. Especially for the link, if there is a request sent with a broken link, then this server will send a response. It will send a response with the 400 or 500 response code, or you can say broken. Let's see an example. Okay, let's go back to our code and box automation lab.com. So this is a valid, that's why it's the response come back with a response code. It's 200. Let's see, we can see the response code over here. And then network, you can go network, and then you can clean it, this one, and then you can let's refresh it and then send the request again. You can see for the network, underneath the network tab, for this site, the code and box automation lab.com, and you can see the status is 200. So it means the response comes from the code and box server. It's okay, or it is a valid request. That's why as a response we're able to see the page, the application. Okay, when you hit code and box automation lab.com. If I send it here, say example, let's put a ABC, hit enter, you will see that the 404, it's responding from our server for this request, code and box automation lab.com/ABC. So this link is a broken link. It's not a valid link. That's why it's giving as a response 404 error, the page not found. Okay, even you can see here, even you can see from the network tab, underneath the network tab, it's showing 404. Okay, that's status code. So it's clear, when there is a valid request, it's been sent to our server, and as a response server, it's give a 200, which is okay. It means valid URL or valid request. If it's an invalid, it will give you 404 or 400 500 cities of response, and which is it's a broken request. Okay, that's the basic things we needed to know. Okay, let's remove this AVC. Let's go there and then close this one for now. Let's go back to our Eclipse now. So I created one class. It's called broken links, and then this is a main method. Let's copy our uh, default code of driver dot uh, WebDriver driver equals new Chrome driver, which is the creating object of your Chrome driver, and maximize the window and delete all cookies. And here is our URL to launch the application. Okay, hover your mouse. So sometimes it's happened that it doesn't show you the related package for the Chrome driver class or WebDriver interface. Let's see if it doesn't. No problem. From your previous, you can write it manually. You can just copy this manually and paste it here. And also for the WebDriver, is import the package, copy from your other class, paste it here. Okay, it happens sometimes because our Eclipse, sometimes it gets some synchronization issue. Okay, and save it. It will go via your error. Okay, so first things first, this is we're launching this application, so we're going to valid all the links from this application, from this page. So what are we going to do? We're going to, first things first, we're going to say we'll get all the links. Okay, we'll get the knowledge about all the links. How many links we have? All the links. Okay, to get this, let's see, how can we define, how can you locate a link? So there is a one common behavior when our developer create a link with in a page as a web element. So if you right click, so this is it has a link, inspect, you will find this is a HTML code for this web object, web element, and this is the link you can see, and it is started with the tag name. It's called a, and it has a properties or attribute is hrefs, and then this is the value, which is the actual link, and here is the text. So if I say another one, you will find very common behavior. Another one, this is the one for YouTube. So here is a tag and href is attribute, and this is the value. So the one of the common behavior is that each and every link, it's started with a tag name. It's called a. Okay, so anchor a is the common behavior to develop or create an object with a link. So if I say, if I use this this tag name to find our all the links, it's easy work. So if we say driver dot find element, so since we're going to get all the links, so driver dot find element by we have a locator is called tag name, so we can use a tag name. And tag name, what's a tag name? It's a. So all the links have a tag name is a, so we can easily find all the links through a tag name using a. Okay, anchor a, right? So, and after that, let's put this one in a variable. Let's put this one in a variable. I would say all links. So this will give us a about the idea about the all the links, all links, and its return type would be web element, web element. So because it is all the links also web element, and we have to, so return type is a web element, and we have to use a list. We have to use a list object from our Java utils or Java collection. So import the package related to Java util for the list, because you can see list is coming from the, so Java util is list. It's a It is an order collection, also known as a sequence that user of interfaces as prices control over. So you can go through more document about the list. We have covered in our previous classes too. So list is nothing, it's a help you to store elements multiple elements in an order sequence way. Okay. And also it accept duplicate elements. So you might have a same link twice in your page. That's a duplicate element. That's let's allow to store multiple elements or duplicate elements in a single variable. Okay. Hover your mouse, input the package related web element. Okay. So now this all links have the knowledge about all the links we have in our page. So if you want to see how many links we have, we can easily find it, right? We can say sys, let's get the total number of links we have. Sys get out println, we'll say total links are, okay, concatenate. So use this all links variable. So it has the knowledge about all the links dot apply the size method. So size will apply on this variable, so it will give you a total number. So it will able to find the total number of links. Okay, so we got the all the links in this variable. Now have the knowledge, right? Now the next thing would be we're going to now we'll retrieve out of this all the links. We want to get each and every link with the actual URL. So all we found all the links over here, but what's the value of the links? Because if you see each and every the web element has a link, it has a actual, so there is an attribute is called href, and it has the value. This is the value. We have to confirm this value, this the value which is http www.youtube.com. This link, this value of the href attribute are valid or no, are broken or is good. Okay, that's what we have to find. So we have to retrieve each and every url actual url, and then we have to verify that whether it's broken or not. Okay, that's what we have to find it. So we have to do this. Let's go back to our Eclipse. Now next things we're going to do, use a for each loop. Let's use a for each loop so that out of this total link we can extract one by one link, and from there we can get the value of the href is the actual link, and that link we can then verify whether it's broken or not, right? So if we use for each loop, as you know, that can help us to run a loop that can be applied to a list or set or array where we have the multiple value, and then from that multiple value we can extract one by one value, right? So that's why we're using a for each loop. So for each loops, it's a syntax is you will put the your list variable over here first, then then colon, let's give a, and then there will be another variable you will create. So I will create a variable name is link. Okay, and then the type would be same like your list type. What is the type? It's a web element, right? Return type would be web element, right? So this is the for loop, for each loop. So in this case, now we're going to have the actual value of this. So out of this link, from this list, out of this link, it will retrieve first link and it will assign to this link variable, right? If I want to get the actual value of that link, so it has this link variable now have the actual URL, but I need that one. We need that actual value. So I can use this link variable. So let's use link dot. There is a method is called get attribute. Get attribute, you can say it's return a string. Get attribute, and then we can pass the actual attribute. So for each and every link we have seen there is a common attribute is called href, right? We can pass this attribute href, okay? Href, we can pass this. So this will, since the every link is now assigned to assigned to link variable. So example, the first link out of this all the links, and using get attribute method to that link and pass the attribute href. So href, this will pass the value of actual link, because href has the value. You can see it. Make sure you understand. So here's the href, it has the value. So we pass the get attribute method with href attribute or properties. So it means it will return us this actual url, right? Actual url. So this will return us actual url. So I can say, let's put this one in a url variable. So this url variable have the knowledge actual url, right? For each and every, for out of all the urls, for each and every url. So this is the return type would be string, right? And then let's now I want to next things I want to. So I got this url have the knowledge about the, this one have the knowledge about have knowledge about the actual url value, right? Which is the actual url or actual url. Okay, now I want to verify this url, whether it's empty, broken, or it's valid. Because sometimes when we have a url in our page, some url, the href value could be blank. You have seen sometimes probably it's a blank, or it could have the href value could be broken, or it will be the valid url. So that's the three different scenarios. So first things, we're going to check whether this url is empty or null. Okay, that's what we're going to check. Okay, check url is empty or null. To do this, we can uh, we can pass a if condition. If this url the url have the not actual value of the url, this url, if this url equals to null, or this url dot, you will see this is empty. There is a method called is empty or is blank, is empty. So whether this url is null or is empty, if it's empty, then we can say, just we can pass the message sys.out, the url is empty, url is empty, url is empty. Okay, we can just send print a message url is empty, and then we'll skip this iteration, we'll skip that url. Okay, so since there is no url, if there is a url and but the href value is empty, we can just easily message that, okay, that the url we found, our href we have found, it has empty href, and then we can skip that iteration, it can go back to the next url. So to go back to the next url, we can use continue statement, right? Continue, so it will continue, so it will skip this one, I mean next line of the code we're writing, so it will continue this iteration, but it will skip that iteration. Okay, and but if it's not empty, if it's not empty, let's go there. If it's not empty, then we'll say next job, or our define is, so check the url is empty or null. So next one we'll say this, if it's not empty, if it's not empty, then check the url, check that url it's broken or valid, right? That's the two more scenario we have to check. So to do this, so we can say we can say uh, first things we're going to see whether it's a broken or not, right? to do this, let's we have let I'm going to create let's create and use a try catch block. Let's create a try catch block. Try, and then the catch block. Okay, so inside a try catch block, uh catch blocks. So this is the catch block, and then this is a try block. Okay, so because I don't know this the URL now, it's broken or valid, but we can check one by one. So that's why I'm putting the code that I'm going to validate the code or URL. Say we'll check first whether it's broken. If it's not, we'll say it's a in a catch. We'll say it's a the valid. So let's see. So in a try catch block, I'm going to create an object of a class is called URL class. URL, so this is an object, so this URL is not the same URL that we use over here. This is our variable, right? It's holding the actual URL value. This is a class from Java. It's called, you can say Java util, Java net. So import the package related. So this is the class. It's called URL. So I'm creating object of a URL class, and then I will pass in this object our actual URL value to validate this. Okay, this URL. So this URL have the actual URL value. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, so I need to, so this URL will pass through this object of URL, and then you can say there is a method. It's called there is a method. It's called open. Let's see, open connection. Open connection. You can see the method is called open connection. Let's call this method. So open connection method, and let's put this one in a. So what we're going to do, this URL is passing to this through URL object, and then it means first we're going, and then we're calling the open connection method. So it will open the URL, our actual URL, that URL we found. Okay, let's cast this URL. I'm going to cast this URL. The reason why, let me tell you. Let me cast this. So I'm going to cast this request. Okay, this request, open connection. This request through another class is called HTTP. Where another class is called HTTP URL HTTP URL connection. Okay, so and then let's put this one in a variable, and since I'm going to cast this request through this class, so let's put this one in a bracket. Okay, and then let's put this one in a variable. It's called URL request, and the return type would be the same, this one, HTTP URL connection. Okay, hover the mouse, import the package related from this. So all those things, HTTP URL connection, you can see it's all those are part from the Java. Okay, from the Java library API. So what I did over here, I know it's a little bit complex here. I create an object of URL class so that I can pass our actual URL, and through this URL I call another method. It's called, which is this method is a part of this URL object. That's why I create an object of URL so that I can call this method open connection. This open connection, it will help us, to open or launch our browser, open a connection, and this request has been cast through the class is called HTTP URL connection. So this whole thing will open a connection, for this URL, and then I put this this open connection object to this variable is URL request. So this is actually doing the request. Open connection is meant doing the request for this URL, and this is a return type. Now I'm going to make the connection. Okay, and the next thing would be we have to make the connection. To make the connection for what? For make the connection for this request, for this URL request dot, there's a method is called connect. You can see there's a connect. So this will actually make the connection. This will open the connection for this URL, and this will make the connection for this URL for this request. So it means it will finally, this is the submitting the request or hit the request to our server. Okay, this will connect to server. Okay, and then because without requesting hitting the server, so here, you know, without hitting the server, will not get any response, right? And without getting a response, will not get any response code, whether it's 200 or 400. If we see the response code is 400 or more than 400, then we can say this link is broken, or we can say this the response code is valid URL. So that is the logic we're trying to develop here. That's why we need the response code. And okay, that's why we're doing the connection. We're sending the request to our server. Okay, let's get back to here. So now where it's connecting to server, now it's supposed to give us a response, right? So let's create a, I'm going to create a if condition here. I'm going to say if this, so for the after this, it's connecting to the server. So it means I'm saying this, if this URL, this variable, it's dot get response for this request. If we get, you'll see there's a method is called get response, res response code. You can see response code. Okay, response code. If this URL request, let me show you once again, it's a little bit small. Let me make it bigger, and then I will say res dot res response code. You can see, okay, response code. If this URL request dot response code greater equal 400, okay, 400, then what would be happen? So it means response code 400. So then we can say easily this is a broken a request or broken URL, right? So we can say sys out system.out ln. We can say, we can tell that this actual URL we got over here, this is because this URL variable have the actual value of the URL. Okay, this URL we can say it's broken URL. It's broken. Okay, broken. Else we can say, let's put the else we can say it's a valid, right? Should be. So let's copy this one. Else we can say this URL it's valid. Okay. So this will give us the actual URL, because this URL coming from this variable is nothing, it's the value of actual URL, right? So you can, you know what, we can make a, and that's fine. And then it will give us a, or it will give us a actual value. So whether it's broken, if it's not, so if greater than equal request code, it's greater than, oh sorry, double equal I put, so greater than equal 400. So we know that if it's response 400 or 500, it will be broken. It will say that like page not broke found, that kind of response it shows when it's a response code 400 or 500. But if it's not, then it means it's where it will give us the 200, which is the the valid URL, right? So that's pretty much it. That it will this code will it try catch block code will give us a whether it's broken or valid, and this code the if this part it will give us a if there's an empty, then that URL will be skipped and we'll keep continue our iteration. We'll move to the next URL and we'll get the value of the next URL and we'll follow the same the process. Here is the catch block. We have to let's put a probably for the catch block we know that we have to uh, call an object of a class for the catch related, so that say IO exception. Maybe let's create IO exception, then let's put a create an object of this class IO exception, hover mouse. Okay, and then if you want for the catch block you can say you can print is print is stack track. Okay, that should be fine. Let's save it. So we have try and catch block in the try block because we don't know, right? This the URL, that's the URL, it's a valid or not. That's why I put in it try catch block so that we can handle this. If this link or code doesn't work, we can handle it through our catch block. Okay, save it. Let's run it. Okay, it's kicked our browser. So it should be done. Let's see. I didn't use the driver.quit, so that's why it didn't quit. So let's close it. Let's see. Here we go, the result. Okay, let's go all the way up. I can see the total links are 110. So 110 links we have, and here is the all the links. Links is valid. This is the link is valid. This is the link is valid. Let's see if there is a link it says invalid. So I didn't see any invalid link over here. Nothing's. Oh, here is a one link you can see. This link is broken, so here you can find. So maybe this link is broken, so we have to check. You see, if there's a link is broken, it will tell you whether this link is valid or broken. Okay, you can see there's none other link is broken. So we found one broken, and the rest of them are valid. So you can make it's a little bit. Let's add over here one more thing, so we can make it separate for each and every. So it's it's the outer would be a little bit nicer. So for over here for the let's see after we get the okay after we get the URL over here, and uh before if statement, let's add over here as well sys out. Oh, sorry. So let's put this one over here, some divider. So what will happen when for the beginning of the for each loop, it will get the actual value of through the href attribute, puts in this URL, and after that it will make a put this dot dot dot, and then this all those things will have continue, right? I'll execute. So through this execution, all the rest of the code, whether we'll find it's a broken link or valid link. So it will have the link, and it will say it's broken or valid, right? And then again, when this next iteration will happen, it will get the next link, puts in this variable URL, and then it will put another dot dot dot. So we'll have a nice separation between each and every result. And then at the end, let's for loop close over here. At the end we can say driver dot driver dot quit, right? Driver dot quit. Okay, so it will quit our browser. Okay, let me save it and run it again. Java application. So it may take a little bit time, because it's we so have seen that there is 110 link. So each and every link it will extract, it will validate, and then it will see it. First it will check whether it's empty or not. If it's not, then it will check it's the link it has, it's the valid or not. If it's not valid, it means it's good. So for each and every, you'll see it's gone now. So you can see now nice the output on in our console. See, very nice. The total links 110, and now you can see for each and every link it has some separation, right? Valid, valid. So easily you can see that, analyze that output. Okay, so that's the way. It's a very important also question during the interview. How you can validate the link in your application, whether it's broken or not, or good. Okay, so you can summarize these things. Okay, so that's all for today's class. Bye bye.